What's shakin' bacon? So you are watching Living in Color TV as usual, and this is Kayla on Wednesday. I am gay, and a lot of you did not know that in high school. That's what I wanted to talk about today anyways. Coming out, I just never, a lot of you in high school thought I was really innocent and sweet, and I am. I mean, I'm not really evil or anything, but once a lot of you found out I am gay, you're like, oh, and you got this whole new image of me, like some slutty gay girl. And it's not like that at all. I'm the same exact person. I just like girls. There's nothing really more to it. I can't really help that I like them, you know? I've always known, seriously, I've always known. And that was the hardest part growing up, because you know, you go to church with your family and they teach you that it's wrong in church, and so you're not able to control these thoughts. They come to you and you're like telling yourself, don't think about that, it's wrong. And it's just really hurtful, because who is to say what's wrong or right if nobody is God themselves? I can understand that the Bible is the Bible, but I can also understand that it was written by a man. Who is to say that God is not gay himself? Who is to say that God is not a llama? For real, like, I grew up slowly accepting it because I was really disgusted by myself for a very long time. This is very personal, but this is my coming out video, I guess. I was disgusted by myself for a very long time because of church. I would go to church and pray not to like girls, pray to stop the thoughts from coming in, pray for me to get better or something. I thought I had like some type of disease. And then on top of that, I actually do have a disease. I have a life-threatening blood disorder. So I thought that was because I'm the only one in my family that has it. So I thought that was my punishment for being gay. And it was really hard growing up because I was very depressed and very confused, and I thought that I would never be able to get by being this gay girl who I am not supposed to be because I'm sinning. And I got to middle school, and I started to realize, by seeing such young people who knew for definite sure that they were gay. I'm not talking those, you know, middle schoolers that are like wanting to experiment or this and that. I'm talking the actual gay kids that are in middle school that get bullied themselves, that really can't help it because that's what they are, they're gay. And that was the eye-opener for me. That is when I got my first girlfriend in middle school. And for both of our sakes, because there was a lot of bullying in middle school for gays, for both of our sakes we kept it secret. And I just realized that it was right, because I had boyfriends before I had her as my first girlfriend. For both of our sakes, we wanted to keep it a secret, so we didn't get, neither one of us got bullied or made fun of. The boyfriends I had before her never felt right. Didn't feel anything when we kissed. You know, you look for that spark, and you get that spark if you're kissing the right person, but with the boys, I never got that, and I just thought, you know, it's not the right guy, I have to keep looking. I've tried, you know, I've searched hard, and I just don't get that spark when I kiss a boy. I don't get a spark when I think about a boy if he walks by. I get a spark when I think about kissing a girl, or if I see a really beautiful girl walk by, I get that spark. And it's just hard when you're so young and you've known for so long, like since you were very, very little, and it's hard because you grow up and everybody, you know, even in kindergarten when they're playing house and they have a mom and a dad, it just didn't feel right. Like, it's really hard when you're so young and you know something isn't right with you and blah blah blah. So I think I got to 8th grade, and that's when I told myself I was bisexual, because I knew if I said I was a lesbian, it would make things a lot worse for my mom and my family. So I said I was bisexual. I came out in 9th grade, and my mom right away was like, it's a phase, you're really young, you don't know what you're talking about, we're not speaking about this ever again. I tried to really force it upon her, not force it upon her, but very gently open her eyes to let her know that I wasn't going through a phase that I've known for a long time. But every time I would try to bring up the subject, she would shut me out. And that was hard because you can't do anything about it. It's your mom. She says you're young. If she says be quiet, you're going to be quiet. You're not going to want to get grounded or anything. So I couldn't do anything about it. For a long time, I had to hide my feelings because I was worried about other people's feelings. I started to come out to my friends sophomore year. Freshman year, I had, I guess what you would say, popular friends. Friends that always had, like, the friends that had the parties that everybody was going to. The really popular girls that were on the cheering squad, the football players. When I started to come out to them, I started losing friends one by one. It made them feel uncomfortable, like every time they were around me I was checking them out, which totally wasn't the case. It's like, don't flatter yourself, please. Yeah, so a lot of them started to, you know, pick me off one by one. The guys thought it was like hot and wanted to like have sex with me. It was just a really hard time. Not just because you lose all your girlfriends and you're like, who do I have now? But because the guys see you as a sex item and they see you as almost not really a human being, just this lesbian sex item. And it's like, no, I'm a person. I like girls. I have feelings. I am not some sex icon. I don't know. Like, it was really hard for me. I went into a very depressed state of mind. You know, that was a really hard time in my life. Just because I couldn't really understand what I was going through. Moving on, junior year, started to gain my confidence, and I started to realize, you know, for the first half of junior year, was bullied really bad, and I'm not going to name any names because if this person is watching, they know who they are. They know very well who they are. It got to a point where in class one day, I had got back from the hospital. This person didn't know that I had a disease, and they constantly made fun of me for not being in school. I guess they thought I was like a drug addict or stupid and didn't know what I was learning and frustrated and would give up easily or something. I don't know. But they made fun of me, and it was crucial, and it really hurt me. And before I would let it happen, I wouldn't stop it. I was very quiet and very misunderstood. A lot of people didn't know that I had a disease. A lot of people didn't know that's why I was missing school. A lot of people made fun of me because the girls that I had as friends in freshman, sophomore year, they knew that I liked girls, so they talked shit in the locker rooms, you know. People would really rudely cover up themselves while I would walk into the locker room, and it's like, you know, I'm not looking at you, like, I have the same bits and pieces as you do, so don't flatter yourself. It's nothing I haven't seen. I don't care. But that was hard, and finally I stood up for myself one day. I stood up in class, I called this person out, and I just told him, you know, like, I have a disease, and that's why I haven't been here. And that was hard because I ran out of class crying my eyes out. And when I mean crying, really crying my eyes out, like I haven't cried so hard in my life. And that was hard because it's one of those times when you really can't stop crying. People are looking at you and you feel really embarrassed, but you can't stop. I ran out of class crying, and then that was my waking up point, where I realized I can't let people get to me anymore. It's destroying me, and I need to like change for the better. And that was when I did. The second half of junior year, I got myself together, and I became this confident girl who honestly would walk through the halls not giving a fuck, So if I ever walked past you and looked like a really evil bitch, it's only because I was doing it to show people that I was strong, to show people that I was not going to let them get to me anymore, to show people that I was not the girl that they thought I was, to show people that I was going to stand up for myself from that point on. And that was, for me, the best moment, the best changing point in my life, because from then on, my life became great. I grew friends that when you lose a friend, you really, really want them back. So I grew friends that I didn't expect to be friends with, because I was looking in all the wrong places before by these people that didn't even accept me because of my gender. It's just like, sexuality is who you are. It's part of who you are. It's part of your gender, and you can't help that. And I got friends that accepted me and could relate to me, and it was the most amazing thing ever. I really had a really amazing senior year because of that too. I was so confident. I didn't let anybody get to me. A lot of people talk shit about my disease without knowing that I had a disease. Oh, she's not in class because she's on drugs or some shit. I didn't let any of that get to me anymore, and that really helped with coming out, because that was the time when I actually sat my mom down and came out to her again, because, 9th grade, she said it was a phase. She didn't want to talk about it. So I had to prove to her that after 4 years, it wasn't a phase. And it was hard because she was crying, and, it was hard for everybody. But now my mom accepts me. She knows I am gay. She actually I am single right now, but I just got out of a relationship with a girl. And she met my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, and she liked her. And I was really impressed, because that was the first girlfriend she's ever met. It was really beautiful to me, because my mom isn't all that gay oriented, and that was really, really great. She met my ex-girlfriend, she liked her, she understood that we were definitely dating. That was just really great. Coming out took a really long time for me. It was over a period of time, It wasn't like that time when you have to think and you're like, oh, it's time to come out. It took me twice to actually come out. A few times, yeah, it took me a few times to come out. And it took me a long way to get where I am today, out and happy and very proud to be gay. But yeah, so that's my coming out story. Tune in this weekend to see the weekend videos of me. So starting probably Friday or Saturday. Yeah, have a great, great day, guys, and I hope you really take this video to heart if you're trying to come out. It might be really hard, but in the end it's so worth it, and it's so worth it. It really is so worth it, You have to do it at some point. You can't stay in the closet forever. So if you're trying to come out, I think you should just go for it. It's not going to be any easier than it is now and a few years from now. So go for it. If you need any advice whatsoever, leave a comment. I will be more than happy to reply. I promise you I will reply. If you want private advice, you can send a message and I will reply to that as well. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.